What's going on, guys? It's the J. Lee at the Buzz at Buzzworthy Radio. I had the chance to sit down and speak with Lisa Steen, Anna Greenfield, and Karen Gillan to talk about the movie Late Bloomers, which premieres this Friday, June 7th in theaters. Karen's co-star, Margaret Sophie Stein, who you may have seen in Bullets on Broadway. I have my own history with Margaret, where I first saw her. But we delved into that a little bit, and she also talked about what it was like to work with Margaret on this film. Part of the film, which I will say at this point did resonate with me, is I never realized how true to life it really, really was until I talked to Anna about it. And there were depictions that were used in this film that came from her life. So for me personally, just watching that and seeing that there were bits and pieces of it that definitely sat with me. We get into that in the interview, but I definitely wanted to touch on that in this intro because I never realized how much of this was true to life for her. But we also talked about certain scenes that were put in the film and finding out what was it like to film those scenes as well. All that and more with our interview with the Late Bloomers cast and crew. Take a listen. The funniest part for me that I actually said the words "oh shit" at was the scene after Karen's character goes into the hospital and she tells the nurse orderly, I don't know what we call them in this sense, but she tells them that she hasn't had sex in 3 years, and they ask her why not.
Yeah, when I was admitted to the hospital, like they weren't asking such impertinent questions, but they did make me stand up and go like take a pee, like do a pee test to see if I was pregnant because they won't do an X-ray on somebody, and I was being like, I haven't had sex in 3 years. My hip is broken. Please don't make me stand up.
So that actually was a real life thing. That wasn't something that you just came off of on a whim. That actually happened in life.
Yeah, I think I took it further in the script, but no, I did. I broke my hip in real life and did deal with some crazy hospital people. Some really nice ones too. Not to besmirch the hospial.
Not to disparage against the nice ones, but also, you know.
Yeah.
I did hear that parts of this movie, if not the whole movie, was from your real life experiences, but I didn't realize just how much of that really did come from your real life. So that's very interesting that you said that story about that. So
yeah, a lot of it is pretty personal and pretty real, and then hopefully it's more relatable based on like the broader themes that are in there.
Mhm.
But breaking my hip, having a sick mom, going through a bad breakup, being a messy girl, all true.
Yeah. And Karen, your screen partner in this throughout the entire Margaret Sophie Stein from Bullets on Broadway. I hate saying this, but I don't hate saying this. I watched her when she was on All My Children as
Yes.
Corvina. I mean, listen, you got to act opposite of someone who got to call Erica Kane a whore and get slapped by her. So
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh yes, that was a thing. That was a thing. She got to call the great Susan Lucci's Erica Kane a whore on the show and gets an Erica Kane slap to the face. So I was like, you know what? Karen now has one-upped me. So
I'm feeling quite good about myself.
what was it like working opposite of her? Like I said, I loved her for years, and you getting to play opposite of her in this movie. What was that like?
Oh, she's just extraordinary. She's the most incredible actress, an incredible woman. Like she's so funny and straight to the point, and knows exactly how she wants to do things, and has no problem voicing her opinion. And then I'm the opposite. I'm like, am I taking up too much space? I'm sorry, it could be good, but maybe not. Maybe that's a bad idea. So she's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And I really admired that in her and kind of tried to be more like her the more time I spent with her. And I loved working with her. I feel like I became better at acting just from absorbing stuff from her.
Absolutely. Now, both Karen and Lisa, I want you to kind of describe, which I don't, what's the right word I want to use for this? It was different for me to watch the bathroom scene.
it was different, but it was also, if this is what nurses go through, I now have more sympathy for them.
Sure.
What was
I
it
want to
like
say that was actually real.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
know
did, I was having a hard time getting my mom to wear a diaper. And so I wore one for her I modeled it for
You
her.
modeled it like the way, okay.
I did, and that got her to put it on. But yes, we should be very kind to anybody who wipes bottoms for a profession or as just a
Or
personal
as just
caregiver.
a caregiver.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's just, you have no idea how hard it is, not just for them, but for yourself as well. But my biggest takeaway from it too, just watching that, I just felt like, Margaret's character, I just felt like she was only stubborn because she didn't want to grow up, and then that's why that was my opinion, that's why she kept pushing her away to put the diaper on. Like, no, I don't need this because I don't feel that I need to have this on. I'm not at that age where I need to wear one. So that's where I was at that when I watched the scene, and that was very difficult to watch for me because that was another scene that resonated with me. My grandmother, especially right before she passed away, she was stubborn that way because she never relied on help from anyone. She was always that strong-willed woman who did things for herself, and she worked all the way up until the end. And when we had to help her and do all those things, that was very hard for her because she still acted like she did not need that assistance. So watching that scene and resonating it with this was very difficult, but also it helped to watch that. It helped a lot because it got me past a little bit more than what I was ready to deal with for that. So thank you for that, putting that in there.
Yeah, I really like it, means a lot to hear that. And I think you're totally spot on with her character, and that being a real reality of aging is that we forget that these are people that had full lives, and for most of them didn't need any help. And all of a sudden you're kind of back to being a child in a way, but you don't have the brain of a child. And usually you're in your right mind if you're lucky. And so it can be really, really humiliating and tough to accept that kind of help. But at the end of the day, I guess the message is that we're all going to need it at some point.
Right.
So I want to say there's no shame, but of course there's shame. But I wanted to like have a scene where like the younger person embarrasses herself in order to make the older person feel less ashamed.
Absolutely. And I know we're running a little low on time here, so I have two more questions for you. One of which was for the dancing scene. That was one of my favorite lighthearted scenes throughout the entire movie. I love that she was just standing there. She takes her hands off the cane and just has her arms up and just free and living in the moment. What was that scene like for all three of you? Anybody could take this one. Just to watch it happen and then also being in it.
I mean, for me, I had that exact same reaction I think that you've had when I watched Margaret dance for the first time. And I think I was probably on camera being filmed. And so I know that was the sort of appropriate reaction for the character as well. Like seeing this new side of her and seeing her like have this sort of spirit that's bursting out of her for the first time in this film, and a little glimpse into maybe her past and her history. It was just one of the most beautiful things I've seen. I mean, I just remember like full tears. And now every time I hear this Mariah Carey song, which is what we were really listening to, I'm like full, like on the verge of tears every time.
Yeah, that was actually like at the end of a pretty like long day of filming, and we saved the dancing for the end, and you could just feel like the energy in the room just like come to life, and everybody was so happy and feeling all their different individual experiences with it, and it was a pretty magical moment on set. So hopefully it comes through.
Absolutely. And you, Lisa and Anna, correct me if I'm wrong, did y'all go to college together?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We went to NYU together, and we were like friendly in college, but we weren't that close. And then after college, Anna asked me to direct a short that she wrote, and then we kind of just worked on everything together forever.
We were friendly in college, but I knew that she was incredibly talented and that I needed to snag her, but it just took a little time. Late bloomers. We're both late bloomers.
Yeah.
Look how that worked out. Yeah, basically I asked that because I basically asked that because I wanted to know exactly how you two came together to with this movie of Late Bloomers, and I know it premiered at South by Southwest last year. How long did this take in order to get it off the ground, and just piecing it all together?
I mean, when did you write the script? Like
200 years ago.
Back when I was a boy.
Yeah, a lifetime ago.
No, the process, I wrote it like a pretty long time ago, and then our main producers, Alex Britta and Taylor Feltner, read it, loved it, championed it, and really did a beautiful thing by allowing Lisa and I and our DP John DeVanille to keep working together after we had done all these shorts together. So we got to keep our team intact, and then Karen came and like legitimized the whole project through her incredible. So that was great. Yeah, she's too legit to quit. I'm sorry.
I was getting ready to say if it wasn't you, it was going to be me. So I'm glad you took that. So on that note, we're going to leave it there. And from my understanding of it, this is set to premiere in theaters this Friday, June 7th.
Yeah.
So please, guys, check this out. Where check your listings, find out where it's playing in your area. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and for those that I'm just telling you right now, there's going to be moments in there that it's going to resonate with you. Not if not yourself, but those around you. So please take a look at Late Bloomers. You guys, thank you so much for spending a few minutes out of your day with me on this and talking about Late Bloomers. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Many thanks to Karen Gillan, Lisa Steen, and Anna Greenfield for stopping by the BUZZCast to talk about Late Bloomers. Make sure you check your listings to find out where it's playing in your area, beginning this Friday, June 7th in theaters. But that's going to do it for me for right now. I'm Novell J. Lee, making sure you keep getting the latest buzz with Buzzworthy Radio by logging on to our website at buzzworthyradiocast.com. You can also find us on X. That's still very hard for me to say, everybody. Liking us on our Facebook page. We are on Instagram, and you can download our podcast at Amazon Music and iHeartRadio. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.